broadcast for shooters, hunters, and gun enthusiasts. This is the Firearms Radio Network. This edition of Gun Guy Radio is supplied by Alien Gear Holsters. AlienGearHolsters.com.
Welcome to episode 147 of Gun Guy Radio. This is a podcast that shines a positive light on the firearms lifestyle. I'm your host, Jake Challant, and this is your weekly dose of positive firearms talk without the politics. Well, Thanksgiving season, holiday, whatever you may call it, is behind us, but we still have Christmas ahead of us. I'm sure you're all looking and shopping for holiday gifts this season, so check out our Amazon affiliate link when you're shopping online. Beat the crowds, shop online, stay at home, shop Firearms Radio Network's Amazon affiliate link, firearmsradio.tv/Amazon. Well, and for the main topic this week, we have friend of the show, Chris Cheng, back on. I think the last time we had him on was probably almost 2 years ago. We talked about salient arms, I believe, and I believe we had him on the Chop Shot fan podcast as well. But this time around, we have him back on, catch up with Chris, see what's going on in his world, and talk a little bit about his new book, Shoot to Win. So let's take a little break, and we'll get right into the main topic. Welcome back to the Gun Guy Radio main topic, and we have special guest Chris Cheng, the winner of Top Shot season. What season was that, Chris?
Season 4. It was. Seems like it was eons ago.
Yeah,
but season 4.
Very cool, and also one of the newer NRA commentators, and also an author of the book Shoot to Win, now available on Amazon and probably anywhere else books are sold.
Yep, yeah, iTunes and Kindle and Nook, and it's been so exciting to be a first-time author. And Shoot to Win, it is a book for beginning marksmen, anyone who's interested in learning to shoot. And what I really what I aimed to accomplish in this book is to talk about guns and marksmanship, to talk about in a way that is accessible for folks who just don't know anything about guns. This is the book for you. Literally just, talking about the core fundamentals of marksmanship, and this is for pistol, rifle, or shotgun shooting. And I intersperse a lot of stories about my time on Top Shot, when I used to work at Google, all the baseball that I used to play, and being a musician, and all these different skill sets that I've gathered and how they've helped me become a better marksman. So it's not just about guns. It's about having a cross-functional approach to life, and also having a winning mentality, and there's a whole sports psychology section in there as well. Very
cool. Yeah, we need to talk about the sports psychology aspect for sure. Well, it's really cool to see your goal, your dream realized of publishing this book, because I believe it was either during the last time we interviewed you, or it might have been post-interview. It might have been just afterwards we were talking with you, and you were talking about how you'd like to write a book. That was one of your goals.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where, writing a book, it takes a long time. And I think I do remember us talking about that. Yeah, that was, I think almost 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and,
probably.
Here we are. My book came out October 14th. So coming up to about the 2-month mark here of the book being out. And it's just been so great to have seen the reception and the hunger that shooters have for a book on beginning marksmanship. My whole first run sold out. We sold out within 2 weeks, and so my publisher, they're I think a little caught with their pants down because they weren't expecting the book to sell out so quickly. So we've got another shipment coming in. But all the feedback that I've gotten from shooters, from a lot of media reviews are starting to come out about the book, and it's glowing reviews, sold out book. Christmas season is here. People are shopping and looking for great gifts, and so that's been, I think, a very strong driver of book sales, is people looking for holiday gifts. And for the beginning marksman, as far as I know, like, my book is the only book that's relevant and current. There's a lot of other marksmanship books for beginners, but they're dated. They're like, a decade or two old. So this is a very modern, up-to-date book. As you can see, I've got an AR-15 on the cover, AR-15s, all throughout the book, because since the AR-15 is the most popular rifle in America at this moment in time, there's a lot of people who have AR-15s. They are new, first-time, gun owners. They obviously need to learn how to shoot them, because a gun by itself is obviously just this dumb, inert, stupid tool. It's the operator, the user, the person behind the trigger that needs to know how to use it. So there's been a lot of people buying the book, and it's just been an exciting time. I don't know how else to express my happiness and pleasure.
Well, let's go back to that beginner aspect, the beginner mindset, because that was kind of your persona on Top Shot, was that you were this self-taught shooter that was pretty new to the game. Like, you hadn't competed in the pro arena or anything like that, right. And you weren't an instructor. You didn't have a lot of this repartee that these other people on Top Shot had. I believe you didn't have military experience or anything like that. So talk about, I guess let's go back in the Wayback Machine. How did Chris Cheng get into firearms, and how did you teach yourself? How did that process go?
So I guess this is one of those like Wayne's World moments where I'm supposed to go something like that. We go back way back when. So I learned how to shoot when I was 6 years old. My father taught me how to shoot, but we didn't shoot very often. We'd go to the range once every 3 or 4 years, rent a lane at the indoor range for an hour or two, punch some holes in paper, and then I didn't see the guns. They go back in the safe, and I didn't shoot for another 3 or 4 years. And so, it wasn't until Top Shot started airing in 2010 that my interest in firearms, got really magnified because of the show. Watching these crazy competitions on Top Shot, and all the awesome weapons that get used on the show too. I mean, this is like you're sitting on the couch, watching your favorite show, imagining yourself, competing and winning. And so for me, because I have a self-taught amateur background, I really wanted that. I wanted to capture that perspective of what I remember it being like to not know much about a particular field of study. And, I remember being a little overwhelmed with the amount of information that there is about firearms and about marksmanship and caliber and single action and double action. And, for me, I was just trying to parse out what was the most important and relevant pieces to not only learn how to shoot, but also to how to compete in this internationally televised shooting competition. But Shoot to Win is a distillation of the most important aspects of marksmanship and learning how to shoot a pistol, a rifle, or a shotgun. And, back to this cross-functional approach that I mentioned earlier about when I worked at Google, we would get like 250, 300 emails a day, like just your own personal inbox at work.
Wow.
And that's, and obviously, your job is not just the email that you get. You've got other things going on, in the office. And so a big challenge of working at Google, working in any sort of, corporate office, or even shoot, right, a blue collar job, whatever. When you are at work, you have lots of inputs coming in, and you have to, kind of figure, okay, like I need to bat these, unimportant things down and really just zero in on these particular important pieces. And so I took that experience at Google, just having, we like to call it, drinking from a fire hose, just all this, overwhelming amount of information. And using that experience of just having to cut through the fat, I brought that to my book, Shoot to Win. So if you're a beginning marksman, or if you are an experienced shooter but looking to refine your fundamentals or to I like to think that I explain some concepts in a little bit of a different, unique way. So even if you're a little bit more experienced, there may be some tips and tricks, even for the experienced shooter. But this book is very much for the beginner. And like I said, I mean, beginners have just been buying up the book, by the handfuls, which has been exciting.
So when you got back into it, got inspired by Top Shot, what were some of your regiments at the range?
Yeah, so at the range, at the time, I mean, I lacked so much experience, and I just hadn't shot a variety of weapons. So a lot of my range time was literally just getting behind a Glock 17, a 19, a Glock 26, a 34, a SIG 226, Smith & Wesson revolvers, 12-gauge shotguns, 12-20, and 410 shotguns, just literally running down the line. Whatever guns I could get my hands on, I'd be shooting it. What I think is what was probably the most the thing I did most for training was dry fire. Dry fire practice was a huge part of my training regimen, and I would say that's actually it still remains a significant part of my training regimen, because with dry fire practice, you can do it in the convenience of your own home. It's free. You're not using up ammo. You don't have to drive and pack up your range bag. But more importantly, dry fire practice, you get to build in all that muscle memory of just nice, slow trigger squeezes, sight picture, sight alignment, and all that dry fire practice at home absolutely translates to the range once you actually get live rounds into the gun, and you will see your trajectory of improvements just climb and rise with dry fire practice. So that was, I think, one of my big keys to success.
Well, and let's talk a little bit about mental mindset then. And I think you'd agree that's probably what helped you win Top Shot, is that mental game. So what, did that play into your dry fire practice, your thought process of, your fundamentals? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. A big part of, I think, whether it's life or at work or on the range, having a positive attitude and learning the whole self-visualization tactic is, for me, it's invaluable. And what this is for people who may not be familiar with the concept is, when I'm at home dry firing, I'm not just sticking the gun up into the air and just squeezing the trigger and focusing on my form. Like, I'm doing that and more. The and more part is, in my mind's eye, I'm in a competition. I'm seeing myself on a stage, and even though I'm at home, shooting just nothing, I'm just squeezing the trigger. In my mind, I'm visualizing myself. Okay, I'm pointing at a cardboard target. It is a standard USPSA size target. Bang, bang, bang. Okay, dump my pistol. Then I'm going to transition to rifle, and going through this whole mental movie, if you will, right, of me going through certain motions and being successful. And so, it's kind of one of those things where if you see yourself failing, you're more likely to fail. So therefore, the opposite holds true as well, right? The more you see yourself succeeding at life, succeeding at the things that you want to do, the goals you want to accomplish, the more likely you're going to achieve them. Now, obviously, visualization by itself is not enough. You need to have, the raw skill, and talent and practice and train and put in the time to get good. But the visualization piece, it's so beneficial in multiple ways. It can either get you from good to great, or if you are just beginning, it can get you right from newbie to decent to good and help keep moving you up. And so having that positive attitude and a winning mindset is really crucial for me and for I know a lot of other people who are in sports, who are in business, and other areas of industry.
So let's say you're at the range and you're just having a terrible practice session, and you're just nothing's coming together. I mean, how do you what do you do in that situation? Do you just keep thinking positive even though it's quote unquote not working at the time? I mean, what tell me, I'm sure you've ran into that situation.
Oh yeah, I'm human just like everyone else, and I have good days at the range, and then I have absolutely terrible, terrible bad days where I say to myself, why did I even bother coming, to the range? And so, in the moment, if I find myself hitting a wall during a practice session, I think there's value in actually taking multiple approaches. So two specifically, one is you just push through. You should get used to being tired, things are not going your way, you're cranky, you're irritable, you're frustrated, you're pissed off because whatever you're trying to do isn't working. And so one approach is just, head down, shut up, stop whining, and just keep going. Now, on the other hand, sometimes it is good to just take a break, right? Just, okay, gun on the table, unload, gun in the bag or whatever, and just, go for a very short walk or just go sit down, right? Just sit down for 5 minutes, just unplug a little bit, reset your brain, and, and then restart your training session. So, I guess I don't always believe I don't believe that there's a one-size-fits-all, approach to your answer. And I think, in general, and this I talk about this all the time in the book, is that marksmanship and I think life in general is about having options at your disposal. Right. So in the book, I'll talk about here is certain pistol technique. It may be the textbook correct way of doing it, but if you find a little bit of a different, tweak to your hands or whatever, and that works for you, then great. If you're hitting your target, I mean, that's all that's, important. And if you're being safe about it, then hey, more power to you. But it's about having options at your disposal.
Alien Gear Holsters, the most comfortable and concealable holsters on the planet, is offering big savings with our new 2-holster combo. Now you can buy 2 complete holsters for as little as $49.88. Choose from any available holster styles and colors for the guns of your choice. All of Alien Gear's quality products are made right here in the USA and include a 30-day trial, forever warranty, and free shell trades for life. Visit aliengearholsters.com today.
Chris, tell us a little bit about your journey. Since we last talked, since Top Shot. What's been up? What you got signed on as an NRA commentator. I guess start with that. I mean,
sure.
How did that process work, and what's that been like?
Yeah, so being an NRA News commentator has been just amazing, and like a lot of things in life, I got this job because of other people helping me. There's some things in life, right, you can accomplish on your own, but I think most things in life require teamwork. They require the help of your family and friends and colleagues, and teamwork is such a valuable skill that is translatable or transferable to all sorts of activities. And so rewind back to December of this year, and I'm at SHOT Show, which is the gun industry event in Las Vegas. It's basically, for listeners who don't know what SHOT Show is, it's like the big gun show of the world, essentially. And I was at Range Day, where all the manufacturers have their guns out. You get to actually shoot guns. It's the one day of the 5-day event where there's live fire, because the rest of the 4 days is in the convention, floor showroom. And I'm with my sponsor, Salient Arms. International. And so the Salient guys, we were, walking around shooting some guns, and, they have been on me for a good 2 years of wanting me to do more political commentary videos like Coleon Noir. And, I plan on running for, political office someday. So, this was a very logical idea. But I had just been having so much fun just shooting guns and meeting a bunch of great people, and diving into the politics I wasn't sure was, something I really, wanted to get into. But the Salient guys, they're so good to me, and they're always looking out, for my best interest. And they say, hey, look, Chris, we know Coleon Noir. Let's introduce you to him. You and Coleon talk and just see where things go. So yeah, they connected us, and Coleon and I we spoke over the phone, and next thing I knew, I was chatting with the NRA team about the NRA News Commentator platform, and would I be interested in joining the team, and if so, kind of what would some of my goals and topics be, and then fast forward a few months to the NRA annual meeting in April, and that's when I and Gabby Franco and Nikki Turpo, we are the three newest NRA News commentators, and it's just been a ton of fun just to be in a position to really make a difference and to arm listeners with knowledge and the arguments, right, the intelligent arguments for the Second Amendment, and why a lot of anti-gunners arguments just they just fall flat on their face once you start paying attention and digging into their positions and their rationales.
Right, and it's also a great part of what the NRA is doing in reaching the next generation of gun owners. It's through new media platforms, and it's really reaching out to where the people are, rather than kind of the old way of doing things by sending people mailers.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the digital strategy, and for me, having worked at Google for 5 years, online is a huge play. Open for everyone. You don't need to have expensive camera equipment and sound equipment to have a show, to put yourself out there and have people listening to what you have to say. And as cell phones and the internet becomes more ubiquitous, more people are getting their news online. They're not relying as much on magazines and mailers and even traditional cable TV. Cable TV is sort of, I feel like we're in this very slow transition where Netflix and Hulu, online TV networks essentially delivering some fantastic online programming. And I wouldn't be surprised if at some point we see a lot of gun shows, eventually make it to, online only platforms. So I'm kind of waiting to see if that happens or not.
Right. Netflix original series, Chris Cheng, Shoot to Win. There you go.
That has a certain ring to it. That it sounds pretty sweet to the ear for some reason.
Well, tell me about, you're doing this little thing on your site called The Second Scoop. It looks like a little short blurb that you put up every so often. Tell us about what that is all about.
The Second Scoop is a new YouTube show that I have on my channel, Top Shot Chris, and it comes out every Tuesday night. And right now the format is 4 to 6 minutes of the top gun stories of the week. So I lead off with 2 or 3 big gun stories ranging from local to state to national news. And then the next segment is a good guy or a good gal with a gun. And so I talk about a successful self-defensive use of a firearm story. And obviously this is one thing, I think it's just a little bit of a tangent here. One thing that I didn't realize until I came into the firearms industry and started to really pay attention to what was happening is every day, it seems like there is a successful use of self-defensive use of a firearm. And you don't hear about this as much in the news as you do, the gangbangers and the criminals, killing innocent people with firearms. And so there's an imbalance out there. And so this good guy with a gun segment of the Second Scoop is, my contribution to trying to, show people that look like, I'm going to be, doing this show weekly every year. I'm going to be talking about 52 stories. And, I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole great site called gunsavelives.net. Yeah. And Gun Save Lives, I mean, they're basically, every single day there's at least 2 or 3 stories. So they are a fantastic resource. So quick plug for gunsavelives.net. And then I end each Second Scoop episode with a video of the week. So far featured Jerry Michalik, Colio Noir, Rated RR, and of course FPS Russia. So for the busy person who, wants to hear about gun news but doesn't have the time to sit down or, listen to a long video or, read through all these different, news sites and gun forums, the Second Scoop is again like a bite-sized scoop of just quick, hard-hitting news of the week. So episode 5 just came out on Tuesday, and I'll be reporting from a duck blind in Nebraska this coming Tuesday while I'm hunting duck. So it's been fun.
Very cool. No, I love it. Short, very consumable content that you can catch on the go and catch up on the firearms news. And, I love focusing on the positive of, those positive self-defense stories, very cool. Well, Chris, I think that about brings us towards the end of this week's show. So tell us a little bit about where we can find Shoot to Win and what else you're going to be up to. If you got anything else you want to plug, let us know.
Sure, yeah. So Shoot to Win, here's the book. It's 256 pages, hardcover. You can buy it at Amazon, iTunes, Barnes & Noble, Walmart. You can get it for your iPad or for your Kindle or for your Nook, and retails for $24.95. But some places sell it for cheaper if you can get a deal. And of course, who doesn't like a deal? But anyways, Shoot to Win is for the beginning marksman, or if you know someone who is interested in shooting. Doesn't know anything about guns, maybe they're scared of guns. Shoot to Win is a book that's designed to be very accessible to the neophyte. So hopefully you will grab yourself a copy and enjoy it like thousands of other people are have already done.
So does that come in a full auto version? Because you're in California. Is it kind of restricted? Or?
Yeah, no, only comes in semi-auto hardcover edition. But that's why people live in free states.
Well, very cool. Where else can people connect with you online?
So TopShotChris.com is my website. I'm also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TopShotChris. And let's see. Schedule-wise, I've got a book signing in the East Bay in the Bay Area, California. Here, I'll be at the Bass Pro Shops, Manteca, California, this Saturday, and then also Tracy Rifle and Pistol in Tracy, California. And Tracy Rifle and Pistol, they are the gun shop that's currently one of 4 shops suing the California Attorney General for a very, very silly gun law that they supposedly violated by having pictures of handguns out in front of their store.
Yeah, we talked about that in our This Week in Guns podcast. Won't get too far into it on the Politics Free show here, but
Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll be at Tracy Rifle and Pistol selling and signing books for anyone who wants to go. And my schedule, the times and stuff are up at TopShotChris.com.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much, Chris. Well, last time we had you on, we kind of talked about how you were going to write a book, and now you talked about how you're going to be a elected official someday. So a couple of years from now when we connect, well, maybe sooner when we connect again, we'll be talking to Senator Chris. So
hopefully we'll see.
Well, thank you so much, Chris, and we'll talk soon. Probably catch up with you at SHOT Show.
SHOT Show, excellent. Thanks again for having me, Jake. Always great talking to you.
Thanks again to Chris for coming on the show. Pleasure talking with you. A big shout out to Chris. And let's talk a little bit about Duluth Trading Company and their manly workwear. Duluth Trading Company has all your stocking stuffer needs, including their souped up sweats. Let me say that 10 times fast. Souped up sweatshirt with a super knit fabric. Yeah, maneuverability and muscle built in. So it's not your normal sweatshirt. These are heftier than usual, 10.3 ounce, 80% cotton, 20% polyester. And they have expandable rib cage side panels. So when you're filling up on that, stuffing this Christmas, your sweatshirt will expand with you. Easy moving sleeves, spandex reinforced rib cuffs, and wristband tradesman's fit. So very cool. Men's souped up crew neck sweatshirt at Duluth Trading Company. Check it out. GunGuyRadio.com/Duluth. And don't forget you can crowdfund this show by supporting us through Patreon. Patreon's an easy way for you to just give $1 an episode to support this free content. Check it out. Patreon.com/gun is how you pledge your support. And a big shout out to everyone that's been pledging their support. And, for the $1 level, you get 2 stickers, 2 really big 4x4-inch Gun Guy Radio and Firearms Radio Network stickers. And then at the $5 level, that's our sharpshooter level, you get a morale patch, a Gun Guy Radio morale patch, created by Whitey over there at Four Guys Guns, and graphically designed by our own Ryan Cross. So really cool morale patch, and we rotate every 3 months. We rotate through the different things we give to the $5 pledgers or patrons. Next time around, it might be a T-shirt or a hat or some kind of accessory like that. So we'll rotate through it so you don't get the same morale patch every time. And then the $15 level also gets morale patches, but you get so much more. You get Duke Cannon Duke Cannon Supply Company big ass bricks of soap in their limited edition military field boxes, which come in 5 big ass bricks of soap come in a real steel ammo can. And then Duluth Trading Company is throwing in $50 Duluth Trading Company gift cards. LA Police Gear is throwing in their own ammo cans and bailout bags and hats and tactical lights and so much more. I think patches from LAPG as well. And then GunGoddess.com is also throwing in $25 gift cards for our $15 an episode patrons. So big shout out to you guys for supporting this free content here on Gun Guy Radio. If you're interested in giving just $1 an episode, go on over to patreon.com/gun. And Ryan Cross Hunter Design does all the awesome artwork on the Firearms Radio Network. Check him out if you need a logo, if you need a website, anything like that. HunterDesign.com. Well, that about wraps up this week's show. Please share your thoughts by leaving a comment on the bottom of the show's notes here at gunguyradio.com/147. And wrap this up before I lose my voice. Remember to subscribe to us in iTunes and also leave us an iTunes review. And please consider joining the NRA and the Second Amendment Foundation. They both do things for our Second Amendment and, personal defense rights that we as individuals just can't do, but collectively we can do great things. Don't forget to shop Brownells using our affiliate link GunGuyRadio.com/satisfaction. And also please shop our Amazon affiliate link this holiday season. Buying those Christmas gifts for everyone in your family through the Firearms Radio Network Amazon affiliate link, firearmsradio.tv/Amazon. And also don't forget to check out all the other awesome shows on the Firearms Radio Network. Subscribe and listen to all the shows for free at firearmsradio.tv/iTunes. Well, that's a wrap, and we'll see you next week.
This has been a production of the Firearms Radio Network. You can find more information at firearmsradio.tv. Tired of paying high ammo prices? Want more bang for your buck? Need high volume or precision loads? The Reloading Podcast has you covered. From single stage to progressive, the Reloading Podcast has something for everyone. For those who have never pulled a lever, now's the time to start reloading your own cartridges. For those with gunpowder coating your workbench floor, now's the time to take your loads to the next level. ReloadingPodcast.com or search Reloading Podcast on iTunes or your favorite podcatcher app.